Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, your bro, your favorite cousin, DJ the Singer, and I'm back with a review of Tamar Braxton's Heartbreak Retrograde, and I'm reporting live from my vehicle on my lunch break.
You show me I will do it, baby. If you teach me how to love you, I will do it. All the pain you've been through, I refuse to take you through it, baby. If you teach me how to love you, I will do it. I promise I'll prove it. Such a alien pain.
If you're returning, hey cousin, and if you're brand new here, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on so you can be the first to be notified when I drop new content. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow me on all of my social media, including my Instagram. You guys, last night I was supposed to be writing a research paper, but I saw an alert on Instagram that Tamar had released her long-awaited visual for her independent film, or her short film leading into her EP called Heartbreak Retrograde. Now, if y'all remember, about maybe a month and some change ago, Tamar was on social media going back and forth with Funky Dineva. Allegedly, they had gone out. Tamar ended up going in her house and something happened. To this day, we still don't know. And she ended up having a fractured nose, and you know, one of her teeth fell out, or some of her teeth fell out, whatever. She texts Funky Dineva, and it ended up being this whole back and forth on social media that ended up being completely blown out of proportion. But I understand both sides of it, more so Funky than Tamar. And Tamar was trying to do damage control. You know, she was doing lives from her bathroom.
What's the drama? All I know is I went to bed and I woke up and my life changed. And I probably shouldn't have said nothing, but I panicked because I was scared and I was alone and I was in pain.
You know, she did a live show and she was just like, you know, I can't tell y'all nothing, you know, if I don't know nothing.
I know y'all mad at me because my album didn't come out last week. But I had told my team I can't really say nothing without giving you nothing. So how I'm gonna tell you something that I don't know the answer to? Feel what I'm saying?
It was word salad. It ain't make no sense. And around the same time, she was like, you know, I'm getting off of social media. Y'all won. I'm going to live on my farm. Well, that didn't last long because the Braxtons came shortly thereafter, and we've been watching them cut up ever since. Speaking of watching them cut up ever since, I know they're airing a new episode tonight, which I will also be covering. I saw a clip of it, and let me just tell y'all, after this particular season, I honestly feel like they all just need to go their own separate ways. Just stop dealing with each other. No more reality TV, because I think the show has run its course. I think it sheds a major shadow, and just the light is negative over the entire family. It's completely lost its plot. It's not even the same show anymore. So yeah, I think it's run its course. But I'm here to talk about Heartbreak Retrograde. I watched it. It was 2 in the morning. Like I said, I'm supposed to be typing this research paper, and I didn't know what to expect. The storyline is pretty much that of a woman who is in a relationship with a guy, and you know, she gets blindsided. You know, she sees something that she thinks might be a little bit better, you know, might could give her a little bit more than where she is currently. You know, you think the grass is greener on the other side, but really come to find out it's turf. Long story short, you know, she gets advice from her people, and long story short, she thinking she finna get by in this relationship. And the man, who is played by Mendici, he snatches her phone and he's going through it, and it's like, he shifted your uterus?
Give me my phone! Shift my uterus? What talking about you shift your uterus?
Is that what it looks like?
Shift your uterus?
You shift your uterus?
Like, it wasn't intended to be funny, but it was absolutely hilarious. And I have to say, I will never hear the word uterus the same way without thinking of that particular scene. Not only does she realize that the guy that she thought was better than her relationship, not only does she find out that, you know, he was only there for the sex, but she also loses her man in the process. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this mini movie, I have my critiques about it, but let me start with the positive. The music is tea. I heard a couple hits on that EP. I'm low-key a little mad that she's doing an EP instead of an album, but I get it. I also wish that if you were going to drop the film, it would have been more so to her benefit to drop the EP on streaming platforms as well. Because I was scrolling on Apple Music and Spotify, even though we're not supposed to be using them, we're supposed to be boycotting Spotify. But I was scrolling on both, and I was just like, well, where's the music? And there was no music, long story short. So hopefully we'll get that EP in a couple of days. I will say, it's obvious that it's a low budget film. It's obvious that the budget was not there. Not just in the quality, but also because if you look through the credits, like, you can see who did the wardrobe. Tamar Braxton, Fashion Nova. Who did her makeup? She did her own makeup. She did her own hair. It looks good in the aspect of, you know, you're multifaceted. Everybody wants to be the Beyonce, but everybody's not doing it on her level. Like, it looks good that you do your own hair, your own makeup. You know, you were part of the production. You were part of writing the storyline. You know, you can add all of those accolades to your resume. But at the same time, when we're looking back at it, it's like, oh, well, we could have done this on an iPhone. No shade. And ironically, I do know the producer that put it together, and he's done stuff for Love and Hip Hop, VH1, the list goes on and on. So I'm familiar with the quality. And so also I know when you're working in film, your budget depends on the kind of quality you're gonna get too. So again, like I said, it was obvious that it was low budget, but hey, these days you don't even need the multi-million-dollar budget in order to push a product. As long as the people can have something tangible, as long as the people have something they can see, they'll run with it, they'll eat it up, they'll support it, they'll back it, they'll buy tickets to your show. So hopefully this EP will put Tamar back in a positive light in the aspect of her music, because that's what the fans want to see. That's what we want to consume. Not this drama every time we look up, you into it with K. Michelle, Candy Burrs, Lonnie Love, the list goes on and on. You know, you into it with your sisters. Like, we don't want to see that every time we turn on the internet, because truthfully, it takes away from the fact that you are one of the best singers out here. I don't give a damn what they say. Tamar Braxton sings her face off. It's just the drama that crowds all of that. So when you have all this drama, people don't care about your talent. It's easy for people to overlook that. A couple other things that I noticed that in certain aspects of the film, it kind of felt like I was watching an extended version or an extended episode of Braxton Family Values. It's almost as if they brought Braxton Family Values to the big screen.
You went out to dinner too?
The dinner would lead to a full-blown affair.
So you guys was into dinner?
Dinner.
And then you, as time goes on, the layers come off and you start finding out.
So you didn't think that it was the right
I didn't think
person?
No.
Especially in the scenes where she was on camera with Vince, and Vince was giving her a piece of advice, and she was just like, you know, well, what's up, husband, cousin, or whatever. And he's like, I'm not your cousin.
Don't break it down like this.
Please break it down, baby daddy cousin.
I'm not your cousin.
You know, if y'all remember scenes from Tamar and Vince, like, they would have their little playful banter. And even on Braxton Family Values, like, Vince would always be putting her in check. Like, that's kind of what it brought me back to. Even in the closing scene with Miss E is giving her advice. You know, you thought you was slick as hen piss, didn't you?
You thought you was slick as hen piss.
You know, like, we watch Miss E gather Tamar all the time.
Next time you do it, I'm gonna slap the piss out of you. And I mean just what I'm saying. Try me. Think I'm playing.
I've been called. Wait a minute!
I'm telling you right darn now. You say one more word, and I got you.
One thing that I did like in that particular scene, though, with Miss E is not afraid to tell Tamar that her ass is wrong.
I don't care. You wrong, you're wrong.
And a good bit of the time, Tamar do be wrong. And so Miss E was not scared to let her know, like, you were wrong. And, you know, your girlfriends tell you, you know, oh, girl, you know, he tripping, he'll be back, woo, woo, woo. Like, your girlfriends tell you that, you know, as a means to pacify you and a means to cover up what's really going on. But a real girlfriend is going to tell you, like, sis, you did a little too much. You did a little too much. You need to sit in that. We oftentimes, I can admit that I've done this. You know, you get in these relationships and you be thinking the grass is greener on the other side. You don't appreciate what you got while you got it. And then when the shit blows up in your face, it's like, now what? What do we do now? Is there a way I can get this person to come back? And truthfully, sometimes that person just don't never come back. What can Michelle say? Sometimes they do come back, and sometimes they don't. Like, sometimes they do come back. Sometimes they do come back. But one thing Ms. E said, and I can attest to this, it's never gonna be the same. It's never gonna be the same. And truthfully, that's why I don't never circle the block. I know I tell y'all all the time, I don't circle the block, but I don't ever give the why. The reason I'll never circle the block is because it's never going to be the same. No matter what you do, no matter how you try to fix it, no matter how you try to rebuild the trust. I understand people grow, people mature, but I will always have an image of you. I will always have that offense ingrained in my mind that will be very challenging for me to overlook. Therefore, it's best that we just leave it where it is, especially when it's something that was premeditated, such as cheating. I just don't believe in you cheated on accident. That doesn't even make sense. That sounds stupid.
And it wasn't a mistake, not really, because you thought about that in your mind and in your head. You may have rebuked it with your mouth or with your body. You took it on.
It's not a bad film. I encourage all of y'all to go check it out. Like I said, don't go in expecting some major motion picture, because it's not that. But I will tell you, it does well for what the purpose is. There's another scene that she has. I like the song. I didn't even catch the song titles. We didn't get any of that. But there's a song where she's like in this pool. You can tell it's an indoor man-made pool, because it's like you can see the barriers and the LED lights around the edge and whatever. Like it's obvious. But I will tell you, the song that they played for that was pretty dope. I also like some of her looks in this film. You know, she definitely is versatile when it comes to her looks. The acting, I'm not necessarily so sure about. You could definitely tell the acting was bottom tier. I'm not even gonna front. And there was another scene, and I don't know if it's because Funky Dineva was all in it that they ended up just cutting it from the film altogether. But there was a scene that Nivea was in, and I don't know what happened to that scene and why it wasn't included, but there were a couple of other familiar faces that were a part of this project. And so I don't know, you know, like I said, maybe Funky Dineva was a part of it, and they were just like, let's just cut him out altogether. It could have been a situation where Niv was like, no, I don't want to be a part of this, whatever. But whatever it was, you know, it's a great film. I would give it a B rating. I definitely think the storyline could have been a little bit tighter. Oh, and what's the dude from Beauty and Black? Roy. He's in this too. He plays the main character. Like I said, I don't want to give away too much. I definitely want y'all to go check this out. Let me know what you guys think below. If you have seen it, let me know what you guys think below in the comments. I am your cousin in music, DJ the Singer. I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with me on my lunch break. Like I said, I took my lunch break to come out here and talk to y'all. But if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on so you can be the first to be notified when I drop new content. And I will see you guys later on this evening after the episode premiere of episode 4 of Braxton Family Values. Love y'all. Until next time, stay far away from haters. They make you itch.